Hello.
Oh shit.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Shouting Over the News for the 12th of May, 2018. I am your host for the week on this fine Saturday morning. I'm Mark, and I'm joined by Dylan, who was coming in with some sort of hot take right there as I tried to introduce, and that is the pitfalls of doing a podcast where not everyone's in the same room. So, Dylan, why don't you come with your hot take?
I can't remember what it was now.
Brilliant.
It wasn't that hot.
My intro was so rambling that it literally made you forget what you were going to say. How you doing, Dylan?
Yeah, I'm pretty good. I'm excited to talk about some news.
We have gone from last week's Newsweek, where there was literally so little to talk about that Chor and I spent a good length of time talking about how it's probably not okay to choke children.
Even with we had like 2 weeks of news to catch up on last week. Was there still minimal news?
Yeah, just nothing happened.
Yeah.
So this week, where I guess because now it is officially a month till E3, so suddenly everyone's just going, right, let's get everything out there that we want to be out before E3, right? And then also there were some pretty wild leaks too, so that's cool.
Yeah.
As mentioned, I'm being joined by Chor. How you doing, Chor?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing alright, thanks. I'm a bit sleepy because I went to a gig last night,
Oh man.
but I'm doing alright. I went to go and see Purple Cobra, the snakeskin gods of rock.
That sounds pretty good.
Yeah, they were pretty good actually. They played
Nice.
some pretty good covers and also some original songs that were very rude. They had a
Nice.
song
That's what you want.
they had a song about how much it sucks when the woman you're sleeping with's husband comes home early, and so you run away in such a panic that you forget your favourite pair of snakeskin trousers.
Aw. That's sad.
And the song was called Trousers. It was a good.
Poor Purple Cobras.
It was a good gig. It was very good fun. And also, as you can hear with his dulcet laugh throughout this, I'm joined by Jack. How you doing, Jack?
I am doing fantastic on this quite dreary Saturday morning, actually. It's been
What are you
quite
talking about?
nice weather.
Blue skies.
Yeah, I think
Recently,
maybe
but
you've
now
got
it's-
like a case of the London smog, mate, because it's all right up
Yeah,
there.
probably.
Well,
Poor Southerners.
that was introduction. So unless anybody has got any wildly hot takes to come off the games they've been playing this week, I think we should jump into this without any further ado. I mean, I played the first 35 minutes of Mass Effect Andromeda, so I'm probably going to have a hot take at some point, but not right now.
There's one thing that happened this week that we've talked about fairly often on this. The new Destiny expansion came out
Yes.
on Tuesday.
Have you been playing it?
Yeah, me and my brother. It's as is typical with the Destiny expansions. The campaign's not very long, so me and my brother smashed it out on Wednesday evening. I think Wednesday, one of them. And it was actually really enjoyable. Not very long, but they've changed a lot of the stuff to be more, fun.
That's always
Wild.
Yeah, which is a good step in a game's direction. Be actually enjoyable, but it's actually looking quite good. You've got the nice Destiny feel to play. We've spoken about that before, and now there actually seems to be stuff to do. Like there's a grind again. Or
Huh.
at least there has been so far, which is nice. It's nice to actually, not play it for an hour and then be done for a month.
Yeah. I wonder if the grind will be real. I wonder if it will last.
Yeah, I hope so. So far it's going alright, and they're talking about some real big changes in September, so who knows? It could be a good setup for an even bigger change, but that's sort of, I mean, I don't know how much you guys remember about Destiny 1, but they had the whole Taken King expansion,
Yeah.
which was like basically sort of redoing the entire game.
Yes.
Not well, but
Quite
it was a huge
famously.
change, and it made it actually good because Destiny 1 was pretty.
Rough.
For all the shit Destiny 2's getting, Destiny 1 was a lot rougher at the start, and Taken King made it a really great game. So hopefully, same thing happens here. But we'll see.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah. but that's been enjoyable so far. So I'm glad, and now people can know my short opinion on Destiny 2 Warmind.
It's about
Everybody
Warminds,
who
isn't
listens
it? The
to it.
Warmind stuff is quite cool in Destiny.
Yeah, so some people have been a bit annoyed with what they've done with it, the story-wise, because there's a bit... It's all set on Mars, and they talk about how... Oh yeah, in Destiny 1... They don't say Destiny 1, obviously. They go... The Vanguard were just interacting with a part of the Warmind that had been left on Earth. Now the Warmind's actually on Mars. So they've kind of just, been like, whatever, we'll change the story. Easy. So people are a little bit annoyed by that. But other than that, it's great. Like, it's cool. The Warmind's a cool thing. You get a sick fucking spear to blow people up with,
I'm into that.
which is dope. And there's lots of little things that Destiny used to have, like, which isn't that ringing of an endorsement for a sequel. Oh yeah, they've added the things the old game had. But there's a lot of things like hidden boxes that, sort of Doom style. There's more hidden things to look for. And there's this one thing I noticed straight away playing. You occasionally see these things that are hidden in really fucking strange places. Like, you need to use a sniper and it's really off in the distance, sort of almost on the skybox kind of thing. And if you shoot them, eventually you get like a fucking sick-ass sword or something. But they've added stuff to do, which is nice. Rather than just, play 3 games of the Crucible, and then do a Nightfall, and then do a raid, and then be bored to death. So,
Maybe when that September expansion comes out, I'll jump into Destiny 2 again and have a bunch more content to play.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah,
maybe
you've
won't.
already got... What, you've got two new expansion campaigns to do. That's a good, 4 hours.
Oh, you just immediately made me not want to play any more Destiny 2.
No, it adds a bunch of side content too. So more adventures and stuff like that. But the main campaigns are quite short.
That's cool. Yeah, no, that is cool. I want Destiny 2. I want Destiny to end up being the game it should be. At some point in the life cycle of Destiny, I want it to be the fucking bomb-ass, incredible...
It deserves it.
Yeah, because it has so much potential.
It just plays so nicely for a game. It's just one of the nicest first-person shooters to play, but then there's just so little to do. But they've been talking big game about something in this September expansion that's going to be the first time an FPS has ever done this specific game mode that they're introducing. They've not released anything more about it than that, but that's intriguing. I'm trying to think. Has there actually been a first-person battle royale yet?
Well, PUBG has a first-person mode.
Yeah.
Okay, so it won't be that.
Yeah, because I literally,
that out.
my entire brain just went through that exact thought process of, I bet it's a battle royale. Wait, no, PUBG does first-person. Shit.
Yeah, I thought you were just being sarcastic. It's gotta be Battle Royale, right?
Yeah, dude. I don't know. But
I imagine it'll be something RPG that you have in World of Warcraft and stuff like that, because that's almost their whole shtick, isn't it?
yeah, it's not going to be a MOBA because Battleborn's already been a first-person MOBA.
Yeah.
But Battleborn isn't necessarily a first-person shooter because there's swords in that game.
There's swords in Destiny, but no, I know what you mean. Not everybody has guns, do they?
Yeah. I don't know, but I guess we'll have a lot of fun finding out. It will probably be at E3.
Nice segue.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was so good that I literally paused so that you could acknowledge how fucking great it was.
I figured that's why you paused.
There has been, as we hinted at, a fucking ton of shit has come out about E3 this week. So, what I'm gonna do, because let's do the press conference stuff first, and then we'll do that insane set of leaks. So, I know you're interested about this, Jack. You've got some thoughts. Square Enix is returning to E3 for the first time since 2015, I believe. They're going to have a stage show, a press conference, some sort of. They're going to be up there with Sony and Microsoft and Ubisoft.
Which I guess is a bit weird because, like you say, they haven't been there for the last couple of ones. So surely them coming back means that they've got, they're going to. How long is that conference? It's obviously normally around about an hour, maybe even longer, depending on how much stuff you've got to show. But to even justify having an hour of a show, it means that they've surely got to come with some big stuff. And I'm intrigued because I don't know, we haven't really seen anything major come out of Square or at least something that hasn't captured my memory for a long time. So I don't know. I think it should be a good one. It gives them a chance to maybe come out with a new title that they've been working on, which we haven't really heard much about. I know obviously there's been a lot of murmurs about Kingdom Hearts 3, which I don't know. I imagine they'll show stuff. I don't know if we'll get an announcement date for that yet, but I imagine they'll certainly have some stuff on that. But I don't know. Yeah, it should be an interesting conference.
Yeah, so it looks like all they've said about it so far is that it's not going to be a stage show. It's going to be a Nintendo Direct style presentation. So
Okay.
at a certain time, so I think I might have even got that slightly wrong. At a certain time, 10 a.m. Pacific on Monday, June the 11th, they're going to broadcast a produced video that's going to talk about their shit. I don't know. I think you're right, Jack. They've got to have something big in the pipe for them to come back to E3, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't even necessarily think that Kingdom Hearts or because they've got that Final Fantasy VII remake as well. I don't necessarily think that either of those actually justify enough content for them to have a fully produced kind of thing. There's just got to be some other shit they're going to put in there to make it worth having their own spot, right?
I guess that I haven't really heard much about it, but I know that there's a new Tomb Raider game in the works.
Yeah.
So I imagine we might see some gameplay of that because I think that's scheduled to come out in the back end of 2018. But apart from that, like you say, apart from the Final Fantasy stuff that they'll be doing, I don't actually know what they've been.
So
what
they
they could
have
be
an Avengers game in the pipeline that's being produced by Crystal Dynamics, who did the first two Tomb Raider games. Those Tomb Raider and Rise of the Tomb Raider. I don't actually know if that is an A team, B team sitch for Shadow of the Tomb Raider, or if Shadow of the Tomb Raider has been passed off to someone else. Hang on, let me just check.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. All I know is that they're in the process of making a new one, and I think it's coming out at the end of this year.
Yeah, there is definitely an Avengers game, but somebody is making it.
Yeah, so Shadow of the Tomb Raider is being developed by Eidos Montreal, who did the Deus Ex Human Revolution and Mankind Divided games, I believe. And then it looks like they're kind of assisting on Shadow of the Tomb Raider, but then also it seems to say here, I don't know, the Wikipedia pages for Crystal Dynamics and Eidos Montreal both say that they are involved in the development of Shadow of the Tomb Raider and an upcoming untitled Avengers game. So it looks like if Square Enix has basically their two biggest Western studios working on an Avengers game and a Tomb Raider game, you would fucking hope they were both at E3, right?
Yeah, for sure. I'd be a bit disappointed if they weren't, to be honest.
Do they do also Hitman? Is that Square Enix as well?
No, so that was a lot of drama last year last year, where they let IO Interactive go, and IO Interactive became an independent studio, and somehow they let IO Interactive go and keep the rights to Hitman and a bunch of other IP. Yeah. So now IO self-publish Hitman.
Okay.
But I think that that's why they did like their Game of the Year edition and a few other versions of that, and like some extra content packs and stuff for Hitman 1, because I think it was or Hitman 2016, because it was like let's get some more content out here, let's generate a little bit of cash, because I believe Series 1 of Hitman 2016 has done well enough that they've said they are going to try and make a Series 2, but it's self-published now.
I see.
Yeah, because they were, I believe IO was owned by Eidos, and then so they came into Square Enix with that purchase, and now IO are independent. Because if memory serves, those old Hitman games always had loads of Eidos paraphernalia around them.
Right, okay.
Yes, IO is an independent video games studio now. Good for them. Sure, there's been one other bit of pretty wild E3 news about press conferences. And it's got you and me in a bit of a tizzy, hasn't it?
Yeah.
It's pertinent to our conversation last week, in fact. Do you maybe want to tell us all about it?
It's Death Stranding, confirmed. In the E3 show, right? In a Sony show.
Yes, Sean Layden, the CEO of Sony Interactive Entertainment America, did a Twitter post. Oh no, it wasn't. I think I saw it on his Twitter, but he actually discussed this in an episode of, apparently, PlayStation has their own podcast.
Yeah.
And they were like, this year we're going to do a bit of a different show. We're going to see what's going on, and we're going to focus on 4 big first-party games before our main stage show in some exclusive looks and deep dives. And those games are Sucker Punch's Ghosts of Tsushima, Naughty Dog's The Last of Us Part 2, Insomniac Games' Spider-Man, and saving the best till last, Kojima Productions' Death Stranding. I say saving the best till last. I literally have no idea what that game is. It could be fucking terrible. I just barely conceal my Kojima boner at the moment. So, like...
You know it's going to be the best. It will play the best.
God, you're such a fanboy. You literally know nothing about this game and you're already saying it's going to be the best.
Well, it's going to play the best. Come on.
You don't know what kind of game it's going to be. It could be a racing game.
Yeah, he said it's a third-person action game, and
in a car.
Let's be honest, Phantom Pain as a third-person action game was fucking tight.
Yeah, it's true.
Like, even if the rest of it is dreadful because it's just a bunch of bullshit about people having babies in their stomachs.
Wait,
if it's a third-person action game, it's probably gonna be alright. Probs.
You'd hope.
Yeah, I would hope.
This is a severe case of hype train, though, I think.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You've left the station and you're off the rails.
In less than a month, sure. I'm fucking counting that shit down.
Yeah. The lead up to E3 is just hyperbole city. It's gonna be like this all month. Just a warning.
The announcement is actually going to be everybody's got a PlayStation 4 now, and it comes with Death Stranding on right now as soon as this conference is finished.
Oh my god, I think I'd literally have a heart attack. I don't even think I'd be able to play it.
Biggest announcement of all time.
I'd be in
Not
hospital.
even everybody who's got a PlayStation 4. You're going to turn around and they'll beat a PlayStation 4 in your house.
They've created
With Death
technology.
Stranding on. Yeah. Pre-installed. You don't even have to wait.
Oh. With patches updated.
No first day bugs. None.
Fuck.
Right.
Mate. Yeah, they've also said there's going to be like some other bullshit there, and they're not going to announce any hardware. But it's mostly just. I know we discussed last week, sure, saying like it's not necessarily Death Stranding isn't confirmed yet. I mean, nothing had been confirmed, and so it's quite interesting for them to come out ahead of their stage show and be like, no, we're going to have these 4 games. We're going to have deep dives, is the term he uses, on these 4 games. We're going to get into the shit on them. I think that's cool.
This is going to be something pre-E3 show?
So it says that Layden said that Sony's pre-E3 showing will feature exclusive looks and deep dives on these 4 big titles. And then it said their E3 showcase will highlight games from PlayStation's third-party publishing partners and independent studios.
Yeah.
So Call of Duty will be there.
Yeah.
Because Sony's got the Call of Duty license. So we'll see Black Ops 4.
Exciting.
Yeah, I
Might
mean,
have actually got a campaign.
there's not really much hype for me on. I don't know. I don't know what to expect from that yet. I'm gonna hold my opinions very close to my chest until I actually get to have a look at it, because I don't know. It could be good. It could be bad.
That seems wise, Jack. Don't say anything wildly out of line, like
Yeah.
Death Stranding is going to be the best game ever.
I'm intrigued to this Ghost of Tsushima. I've not really heard much about it.
There was that one sick trailer, right? And that's
Yeah,
been it.
that's it.
Yeah, like I don't know if they've said much about it, have they? Apart from Sucker Punch is making it, and it's going to be about samurais and ninjas.
It's one samurai getting revenge on his dead village or some shit.
For what?
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah, it's like a samurai's village gets murdered by some ninja, and then samurai's like, to fight the ninja, I must become like them, and he becomes the Ghost of Tsushima. And
That's
then-
some crazy feudal Japan propaganda. I don't really see why they're getting at that now. I mean, come on, samurais. You lost this years ago.
Dude, it's fucked up. Yeah, I don't know. It looks cool, maybe. It's a really good trailer, and that's all we know about that. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Best game ever. Confirmed.
Yeah, okay. Maybe.
Hey, we're going into wild speculation. I figured I could do it for samurai games. Oh, well, no. If it's got ninjas in, might have a grappling hook. So
Yeah. It might have.
it's reasonable to assume it's the best game ever. Any game with a grappling hook. Best game ever.
It's gonna have some kind of cool traversal stuff, so you'll love it. You'll love it.
Also, if it does have a grappling hook, that means 2 of the 4 like big games they're announcing before their conference have some sort of grappling hook system in. I'm gonna need to get a PlayStation 4.
I want the record to show as well, in the lead up to some of that early Death Stranding stuff, Kojima spoke a lot about how games are all about sticks, and he wants his games to be about ropes and
Fuck.
pulling things closer to you. So there might be a
Oh
grappling
my
hook in
God.
Death Stranding.
3 out of 4. What was the other one? Last of Us. That's a game that could have it.
Almost definitely not. It's
Yeah,
going to be
hey.
it's going to be too focused on like whatever that last trailer was, torturing people and not earning it.
Torturing people with ropes.
Oh yeah, this
Yeah,
is true.
ropes are almost always involved when you're torturing people.
Whoa.
I'm a little bit of
Whoa.
a torture expert myself.
Hang on, let me make a note of that. That's the fucking show title. Wait, no, I can't name this podcast Torture Experts. What am I saying?
But doesn't Uncharted has some sort of grappling?
Yeah, but
Uncharted 4 is
Last of Us
sweet
is
grappling
not
hook.
Uncharted.
No, but I mean, it basically looks like the same game.
Point,
Last of Us is
counterpoint.
just Uncharted Apocalypse.
Okay, alright. Yeah,
I've never played either, but that's just what I assume.
It's not quite true
Ah,
in any
lies.
way at all.
They've both got this like real people in.
they do.
There, nailed it.
That's
Highly
like,
unstylized human characters.
you know what I'd say that was like? The comparison I'm immediately jumping to is saying that Uncharted and Last of Us are basically the same game, but one's in the apocalypse because they're both Naughty Dog games, is weirdly like saying fucking Baby Driver and Shaun of the Dead are the same, but one's an apocalypse film because they're
True.
Edgar Wright films.
True. This is correct.
Definitely not though.
You would be right. Baby Driver is the prequel to Shaun of the Dead, confirmed.
Okay, sorry, my bad. I
Hot
didn't realise
Fuzz,
that.
Hot Fuzz is the origin story of one policeman featured in Baby Driver. You don't ever see that policeman in depth, but Origins.
Did I make a bad point there? Have I actually scuppered my point?
You've started a great fan theory.
The Edgar Wrighterverse. I can't be the first
Baby-
person to posit such a thing.
Baby Driver is actually Nicholas Angel's son, and that's why they can both do sick drifts.
Shit.
Man.
It's all the proof you need for Reddit.
Yeah,
It's so quiet.
I guess. Fuck. Right, guys, we have to make a decision right now.
Oh, okay.
Are we trying to keep these news shows to a tight half hour? Because we have got some shit to talk about, and we can totally not, and just be
we can
done.
go on if we want.
Yeah, I don't mind. I'm easy. I have time today.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've got some time.
Well, in that case, I have up here on the screen in front of me the totality of that Walmart Canada leak.
Yeah.
Let's
Good
do
job,
it.
Walmart.
So Walmart Canada put up a whole bunch of video game boxes on their shit for pre-order, and some of them are absolutely ridiculous and definitely aren't real, and some of them seem kind of legit.
Wait, which ones aren't real?
Well, like, they're going to announce Forza Horizon 4 this E3, so it's probably not Forza Horizon 5, like Walmart Canada is asserting.
Wouldn't it be great if it was, though? It's so good they're skipping 4.
Yeah, that would be somewhat of a fucking twist, but... And there's some shit here, like, they've put Dragon Quest 2. I'm fairly certain that's meant to be Dragon Quest Builders 2, because Dragon Quest Builders 2 has been announced in Japan.
That seems reasonable.
Yeah. And Dragon Quest 2, actual Dragon Quest 2, came out in 1987. So it's probably not getting a PlayStation 4 and Xbox One port.
To be fair, the names of all of these things seem to be very basic. It's like, what, they've said Assassin's Creed. That's it.
I hope that's not real.
You want them to stick to a not yearly.
Yeah, Origins just... Origins is not only the first one of those I've been like super hyped to play in a while, but also everyone seemed so positive on it.
Yeah.
Like it seemed like it made such a buzz that I don't necessarily know if them going straight back to a yearly cycle is actually going to benefit them. I don't know. That could just be me. I haven't actually played it, so I can't really say anything. But I feel like at least making it 2 years makes it slightly more of a prestige series.
Yeah, I think people care. Like, people will still keep playing it because it's one of those big games, isn't it? But I think people care less when it's a yearly thing because it's just like you get fatigued, don't you?
Yeah.
That's what happened with me. I don't want to keep up with a yearly release of Assassin's Creed. It's too much.
Yeah.
How do you keep on top of a story then? It's just like...
By acknowledging that the story in Assassin's Creed has been largely bullshit outside of the individual story presented in the game and moving on with your life.
True. But still, like, if you've got a bunch of series that release yearly that you want to keep following, it's just getting a bit excessive, isn't it? There's too many. So it would be sad if they went back to it, I think. I agree with you. But
yeah.
We'll find out in a month.
So there's one on here that I know you are barely containing your excitement for, Jack.
Yep. Borderlands 3. I honestly, seeing this and seeing all of the stuff, obviously, like, so the last time that we really heard anything about this was when they were teasing us with, oh look, we're going to make this game in the Unreal 4 engine and here's some cool stuff that we can do in this engine. And ever since then, it's like sort of been there in the background, but there's not really been much hype about it. And
I guess like it's all we've had is Gearbox saying we're making it, right? And there's not really anything else.
That's literally been everything. I mean, it's been what, like 4 or 5 years since they released Borderlands 2.
At least more than that, though, isn't it?
Was it Borderlands 2 like 2011 or something?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Borderlands 2 is definitely pre-university for us, so...
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure it might have been. But I mean, like, I enjoyed the pre-sequel. I love Borderlands 2. Borderlands 1 was one of the ones that I, like, when I first got it, I was sort of apprehensive about it and I didn't really get into it, and then I sort of left it for a bit, came back to it, and I got really into it. I don't know. I'm hoping that we may get a teaser at E3. Surely we have to. It's been, in my mind, it's been far too long since they last spoke about it. I'm keeping my fingers crossed.
If they put a pre-order thing up, then we might be getting a Borderlands 3 like at E3. Not
Yeah,
just
this is what I'm hoping. If this leak stuff is to be believed, and we can see that we've got Borderlands 3 there, we might even have actual here's Borderlands 3, here's some gameplay, and here's release date.
Well, we know for sure that it's somewhat valid because there's been this whole Rage 2 thing as well, right?
Yeah.
So Rage 2 is one of the games, and that's had Bethesda's response to Rage 2
Has been to announce Rage 2.
basically, yeah. But it was kind of great though the way they did it, wasn't it? 'Cause
Yeah.
They completely changed. They got their Rage Twitter back active. It's the first post it's done in a bunch of years. Was them responding to Walmart Canada, being like, it was criticizing the box art because I imagine a lot of people haven't seen the leak, and it's just a bunch of boxes with a black background and the title on it written in like fucking Comic Sans. It's not Comic Sans, but just written Times New Roman. I don't know. Chor will know. Chor, what is it?
It's probably Helvetica or Calibri.
There you go.
I'm going to say Calibri. I don't reckon Walmart have got the exclusive Helvetica license.
So it was them criticising that, and I mean that was a good way to come out. But I mean that sort of at least somewhat semi-legitimizes it, right? They've got something that hadn't been announced at all yet, and is now all but confirmed because the posts they've been doing on Twitter are kind of great.
Yeah, so do we want to quickly get into their Twitter posts? Because they're absolutely bizarre, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're kind of great though, and they point towards a fairly immediate announcement date, don't they?
Yeah. So
they've
it,
got-
yeah. Do you want to get into what they're about, Dylan? Have you got them up
so-
there? Yeah.
They had, I don't have them up, but I can remember, but I'll get them up too, just to make sure I don't get it completely wrong. So the first post was a picture of, and I don't think this was on the Rage account, this was just Bethesda posting it.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a picture of the Big Ben with, Big Ben, with a pink streak across it, and the arrow, the hands pointing towards, what was it, 5:14, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that immediately got everyone thinking, well, what does 5:14 mean? That's what, at that time it was 4 days away, now 2 days away, I guess.
So Monday,
then-
right? They're gonna. That's ostensibly they will do something on Monday, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And so then they went on to it was a rocket with the same pink shading on. And so this pink shade, the reason that everyone thinks that this is Rage 2 stuff is because the Rage Twitter posted this criticism of the Walmart art, all done in this pink writing with a giant pink anarchy symbol on it. So, and it's the same pink. So it's pretty certain that this is all Rage 2 teasing. Because if it was anything else, that would just be absurd.
They just turn around and it's a completely different thing.
Just Fallout London or whatever. That's one of the ones I saw. One of the suggestions I saw.
That would be pretty mad.
Then there's like a rocket with the pink on and the same 5:14 thing. Then I think like a Tokyo cross section or maybe New York or whatever, some big city. And then the latest one, I think today it was, or maybe yesterday, they did like an actual like a Rage 2 a Rage styled character waiting in line for Anarchy tours. And I mean, Yeah, there's
It's
just
like a,
no
yeah, it's like
way
a cosplayer,
could
isn't
be
it?
Rage.
Yeah.
I think, from what it's hard to tell, but I honestly think it's an actual rendered character.
Oh, you think?
Yeah, it doesn't look entirely real.
It looks photoshopped, yeah. But it looks like a real person, though.
I don't know. I mean, there's you know.
Yeah, actually, you're right. There's like the skin is like a weirdly gamey.
It's got that slight uncanniness to it.
Yeah. Ooh.
So I don't know. I think it might be. I think it might be a character, but either way, it doesn't really matter. It's definitely a Rage character waiting in line for Anarchy tours, and if that isn't a Rage tease, then again, what are they doing? So it's all but confirmed. So I mean, that points towards this wall not being somewhat correct, at least for one of the things.
Yeah,
Well,
so
there's also like Super Smash Bros, right?
yeah, I guess like if you look at the list of games they put up, you've got like Last of Us 2. It's like, yeah, obviously. You've got Dragon Quest Builders 2 is probably what that is. And putting up speculative pre-orders for Smash Bros and Metroid Prime 4. That seems like a given, though I would be surprised if Metroid Prime 4 was this year. Borderlands 3 is like, that's not hugely surprising. And then you have all the weird ones. And yeah, Rage 2 kind of gives credence to that. The fact that the Rage 2 thing seems to have panned out, which is just fucking bizarre, by the way, but good for Bethesda for just looking at it and being like, we're going to take all your shit, make it great. Again, for the first time in like 10 years. So good for them. But like, there's like Dreams, which is that Media Molecule PS4 game. The guys who made Little Big Planet are making that game that's like a dream simulator or whatever the hell it is.
Oh, fuck yeah. I remember hearing about that ages ago.
Yeah, and no one's heard anything about it for ages, so they're like Dreams. But Sony hasn't spoken about that, really. And then you have like a spate of what looks to be kind of weird Ubisoft announcements. You've got that Assassin's Creed thing, but then you've got Tom Clancy's The Division 2.
Yeah.
We'd heard about that before, right? There was, I think that had been announced / confirmed, like a credible leak a while ago about Division 2. Because I think we spoke about it on the show, I think. And being a bit like, that seems mad, but fair enough.
Yeah. So, and then Beyond Good and Evil 2, which we definitely saw.
Yeah.
And so maybe that's actually going to become a thing. And then the one that we haven't heard anything about yet, which is a new Splinter Cell.
Yeah. But not completely outrageous, right? I mean, I don't think anybody would be shocked if they announced a new Splinter. It would be cool, but I don't think anybody would be like, that's ridiculous. So it's not entirely unreasonable that there would be one.
Well, because that links into them getting Michael Ironside back for that Ghost Recon Wildlands event, didn't it? Like they got actual Michael Ironside back to voice Sam Fisher for like fucking 10 lines in that Ghost Recon Wildlands thing, and you go, well, you wouldn't do that. You wouldn't pay Michael Ironside rates for 10 lines, would you? You'd pay Michael Ironside rates for a whole game of him going back as Sam Fisher, because that last Splinter Cell game they didn't have Michael Ironside as Sam Fisher, and I feel like people are actually pretty pissed about that.
Yeah. So yeah, it would make sense. I mean, especially because that could be a sort of, I guess, way to rebuild hype for the Splinter Cell, right? I mean, have it in one of your big current games.
Yeah.
Look, Splinter Cell's dope.
Yeah, like it seems there are parts of like, the thing about this listing that really throws me off is like the fact that like they got Rage 2 right, and so they must have some information. But then why the fuck do they put Forza Horizon 5? Because I'm fairly certain, I mean, I could be totally fucking wrong here,
Maybe it was just a typo.
Yeah.
I'm fairly certain that it's Forza Horizon 4 that's on the way out next. I could be totally wrong there.
Let's find out.
Yeah, it's Forza Horizon 4 that's due this year.
Yeah.
I just checked. So, like, that seems just bizarre to me. But yeah, maybe it's just a typo. Like, I guess as Walmart have come out saying this whole thing is speculative anyway.
It's probably.
But they fucking, like, nailed it with the rage thing.
Yeah, like, it can't actually be speculative, can it? Because nobody on the fucking planet would have predicted Rage 2.
No.
And I think Rage is a cool game, and I wouldn't have predicted Rage 2.
Was the Big Ben tweet... The Big Ben tweet was after, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Because if it had been, like, a day before I would have got it, they'd have been like, well, let's just assume it's Rage. Maybe.
Yeah, everything is like a reactionary thing, right? To this leak.
Yeah, it seems just crazy. But like, I guess some of them do make sense, but just... I tell you what, actually, there is an elephant in the room. There is one game in this league that we haven't mentioned. I know there's two, actually. So there's one game that links directly to what we were talking about, Jack, about the Square Enix showcase, and that's Just Cause 4.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because that hasn't been announced, but Just Cause 4 is on this list. And so, like, you wonder, because Avalanche is two studios now, or it's two teams, right?
Yeah.
Because it wasn't Avalanche, it wasn't the good studio that did Just Cause 3, right? The good studio did Mad Max. Yeah, it was Avalanche Stockholm did Mad Max, and Avalanche New York, which is their aside studio, did Just Cause 3. And I don't necessarily think Just Cause 3 is very good. But
No.
I don't think they've actually announced what Avalanche Stockholm is doing at the they haven't. So they are Avalanche Stockholm are due a game because Mad Max came out and they haven't announced what else they're doing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Although, how long was it since Just Cause 3 came out? Like 2 years, maybe?
3 years. It came out in 2015.
Been a
Fucking
while.
hell. Doesn't feel like that long. So I guess they could release a Just Cause 4 and it not be unwarranted, but I don't know, it just feels like, I guess because the other Just Cause 2 came out way before Just Cause 3, right? So
Been like 5 years before, wasn't it?
yeah, so I guess 3 years feels a bit short. But, I mean, not unreasonable.
Well,
I guess, and if they announced it this year and then it came out next year.
there was a little bit of talk from Bethesda saying their E3 show this year is going to be their longest one. So they could just have a whole bunch of games. All of these things on the list could be there.
Well, what on this list does Bethesda put out? Is it just Rage?
I think so, yeah.
Don't they do Borderlands as well?
No, that's Gearbox,
Gearbox.
and Gearbox isn't owned by a publisher.
Oh shit. Okay.
Who do you reckon Gearbox will get? Who will get Gearbox for E3?
See, I was gonna say,
Oh,
I was going to say Microsoft, possibly.
yeah,
Yeah.
I was thinking the same.
Because
They've
that first game came out on Microsoft, or on the Xbox 360. I don't think it came out on PS3.
Yeah, it did.
Or at
It
least
did come.
not-
It did come out on PS3.
Did it? Oh.
Yeah. But
don't know,
I
It's
don't.
always
I
felt
don't.
like a Microsoft thing, though, right? I don't know why, but it feels like a Microsoft game in my head. But that might just be because I've got Microsoft consoles.
No, mate.
Yeah.
I completely agree, and I don't know why either. So, yeah, that just feels like a Microsoft. I think, it's like Borderlands. It felt like such an Xbox Live thing. Like
Yeah.
all of the conversation you heard about it and all the reviews as it was coming out was that it's cooperative stuff on Xbox online, and obviously PlayStation had online, but it felt like an Xbox Live thing. It felt like something that was pushing that forward.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I was thinking Microsoft would get it as well, Jack.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I just hope that we see something about it. I imagine we will. That's probably the one thing that I'm most looking forward to, apart from maybe if Nintendo decide to finally pull their finger out and actually give us some information on a Pokemon on the Switch, which I don't know will happen. But,
That would be cray.
Yeah.
That would
I
definitely
think
be cray.
E3 is going to be awesome. As we say every year, we're obviously still going to get the whole bullshittery from EA being like, "Yo, here's some more sports."
Oh God, the sports section is the worst.
They're going to they're going to get like a marching band come on stage to announce Madden 19
You're
or
giving me
whatever.
horrible flashbacks to last year. Just like they interspersed it through it, the entire thing.
Yeah.
Couldn't not watch the sports section.
So
Nobody cares, Andrew. Nobody cares.
apart from that, like E3 should be amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, either it'll be fun. I think there's the potential for lots of stuff to be happening, and I don't know. It feels like that right kind of time that we'll see a fair amount of stuff. And
No one really has any big announced games, right? That
Yeah,
that we
exactly,
know,
so-
but like there's a bunch of games due to come out around this year.
there's like Anthem comes out next year, March or something.
Yeah. I don't know. I definitely feel like there is a space in the like 2019 window that we just don't know anything about.
Yeah, definitely.
Like I feel like past like March next year, because that's Anthem, right? I feel like we just don't know anything about what's coming out.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess it's like obviously with March being the end of the fiscal tax year, and companies are going to be probably teasing about games come Christmas time that they're going to be releasing just so they can bump up their sales figures and stuff. I feel like you say, past that sort of March April time, going into the summer of 2019, we don't really know what's in the pipe works just yet. So who knows? I mean, it could be fantastic, and we just see a bunch of new stuff coming out, and they're like, yeah, so we're working on this. Here's some cool cinematic trailer that we just whipped up. It's only 30 seconds long, but yeah, we've got this, and this looks fun.
I wouldn't be. I feel like I've heard them say it's not happening at E3, but it should be happening soon at least. We've still not heard anything about Halo 6.
So this is what I was going to
Yeah.
say. This is the other game that I think is really suspect on this list of leaks. The only other one that I'm like, what the fuck is that about? Is it doesn't say Halo 6, it says Gears of War 5.
Yeah.
Right.
And that doesn't fit with their cycle. Does it, really?
No, I mean, yeah, you usually get. It seems to be so far one than the other, right?
Yeah, and like there are some weird exceptions to that when they were doing like other Gears games and other Halo games, but there was a bit there where they were kind of on. It was like Gears of War, then Halo 3, then Gears of War 2, then fucking Reach, and then they were kind of leapfrogging each other. And the fact that
Yeah.
they gone Halo 5, Gears of War 4, and it's been 3 years. We're due, like, Master Chief in the desert wearing a fucking Hessian sack again.
We were due that last year, really. I mean, that teaser came out a good chunk before Halo 5 did. It came out a long time before.
That's
And I
probably
think the
why it
reason that
completely misrepresented the game, right?
Yeah, that's why it's not happened again. And they're holding Halo 6 super close to their chest. They don't want to. They've basically come out saying we don't want to jump the gun with it this time, which is reasonable because they really fucked it last time.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be surprised if this E3 is them going to be like, Halo 6 is coming out in November. Because I wouldn't be surprised if that's how they do it this time.
No,
Because
no,
it'll
not
give
at
them
all.
enough time to build the hype with whatever they want to do, and without releasing a stupid an incredible ARG that's completely unrelated. They could release something that, actually ties in with the fucking story and doesn't disappoint everyone. But
Yeah. That's just why this Gears of War 5 announcement.
it'd be mad if that came out first. Because then you've got Gears of War 4, Gears of War 5 before another even mention of Halo. I mean, Halo Wars 2, yeah, but that's sort of a separate.
So, yeah, I mean, it's not 343, is it, Halo Wars? It was Creative Assembly,
no,
wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it just...
And I mean, it is story, but it's still separate, I think.
I guess I wonder if where they're at is that Gears of War 4 came out, what was it, like October 2016. It didn't set the world on fire, but people enjoyed it, and they thought it had potential, and it wasn't bad, and they had the engine set up, and they had the studio that was exclusively for making Gears games, and those guys probably had some momentum and a bit of buzz, and so they were just like, well, we fucking know what we're doing for Gears of War 5, we can just fucking go, we're making that shit. And maybe 343 is like, well, Halo 5 didn't set the world on fire, and we had to do a lot of course correcting on it for like adding things in the multiplayer and doing other shit, and the story people had a lot of problems with. People had problems with us removing the split screen. So maybe 343 is actually just going like, if you want us to finish the fight again, you're gonna need to give us a bit more time.
Yeah. That's the few things that they've come out saying, and they've had what's his chops? What is it? Bonnie Ross or whatever.
Yes.
What's her name? She's come out being kind of like, we're working on it, and it's getting there, but we just don't want to come out too early. We don't want to release something before it's ready.
Yeah.
So it is. They must just be. They don't want the same. They don't want that experience of Halo 5 coming out and it being a disappointment, not having everything ready at release, because it needed a lot of updating to be good. Because that multiplayer, I played it for a good. I don't anymore because Titanfall took over my life. Then.
But for the year between Halo 5 and Titanfall 2 coming out, you didn't play anything other than Halo 5 multiplayer, really.
Yeah, I played that a lot, and it was a good multiplayer. It was fun to play, and
it's fucking cool, man.
I think
I really liked it.
Now it's lost a bit of it. It's people are getting tired of like Warzone being a bit. You've got a lot of like farming issues and shit like that, and it's a lot easier to be just better than everyone else with the card system at this point because it's been going on so long. You can have people who are just too good to enjoy it. And so it has those problems, but it was a great game. Like, I mean, what do you expect? A thing built off... Halo was always a fun game to play, even if you didn't like the story. It's a well-made shooter, so...
Yeah, 5 played super fucking well.
Yeah.
Like, super fucking well. And whatever they did... Yeah, like whatever they did, removing split screen and shit from it, so they could get there. Like, we're gonna have 60 frames a second, and we're gonna do all our insane shit behind the scenes on it to make sure it's always running super smooth, and it looks great. And like, yeah, whatever weird shit happened with the story and other things in that game, and now it went all over the shop. It played super fucking well. So like, there is a foundation there, right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they don't need to do much work on... I guess if they want to introduce split screen, they actually have to do a fuck ton of work. But they've got a good base of a game that they can just focus on working on a good story and like making fun maps. But from what... There's been several things that have come out since then, being like... They had this big plan for the story... They went into like a board meeting with the executives and they kind of just said no. And they didn't let them do what they wanted. So that might be why it fucked up, but hopefully 343 can be like, look, you fucked it last time, let us do what we want. And release something fun. Because, I mean, 343 is a company of people who love Halo. So it would be weird that they'd fuck it up so badly themselves.
Yeah, right. Like, why do I feel like there's also been people talking about like the Master Chief Collection relatively recently as well.
Oh yeah, there was because that was fucked up on release, right, and it didn't work.
Yeah.
And then they were silent on it for ages, and then maybe half a year ago, they came out being like, okay, look, we are fixing this. this is sort of our big thing at the moment because they've got two teams. They've got a Master Chief Collection team and they've got the Halo 6 team. And they're like, we've got a team dedicated to just fixing this and making it all work. And we want to let you know that we've not just abandoned it. We want this to be an okay thing because we all love it. We don't want to leave Halo in this sort of state.
It's a cool fucking thing, to be fair. Like,
yeah,
if I had an Xbox One, I would 100% have the Master Chief Collection, even though it is broken as shit. Because having access to all of those things at once, including ODST, is great.
Yeah, well, because ODST they gave as well because it was so broken. They didn't
Yeah,
originally have it on, and they were just like, "We're really sorry, we fucked this up. Here's ODST," which is kind of cool. You get almost basically a free game. But
yeah. It just.
maybe we'll hear more about that. Maybe they'll be like, "Look, Master Chief Collection works now." That'd be a weird E3 announcement, though.
Yeah, like, what if they just go, like, here's Gears 5, and also the Master Chief Collection works, and, I don't know, it's got Reach in it? Bye.
That'd be so fucking sick if they put Reach in it. God damn.
They should, to be fair. They should put Reach in it and just make it, here's all the 360 ones.
Yeah, because I mean, yeah, that's the whole point of it, wasn't it? Was that it was the Master Chief story.
Yeah.
It's the Master Chief, so that's why they didn't include Reach. But it's kind of strange because,
ODST's on it.
well, yeah, ODST's on it now, but at the same time, it was just like, because at least that's still part of the Master Chief story, right? That's what, like after Halo 2 or like midway through Halo 2.
Yeah, it's when the ship jumps out of New Mombasa, right?
Yeah, because that's what fucks everything up.
Yeah.
And so it makes kind of sense. But at the same time, it just means you've just got Reach alone, not being on one of the sort of... I mean, they're all beloved at this point, but...
Reach is fucking great
loads of people
too.
love Reach. Reach is fucking sick, yeah. And it's mad that they don't have it on there.
Yeah, Reach is probably better than Halo 4. And I actually quite like Halo 4. But
Halo 4's reached the point in the fan community where it's reached sort of being liked again levels. The whole cycle that Halo goes through of the latest game is awful, the game before it was the best. 4 has reached that bit of people like it.
I feel like I still hear people talking shit about the story in Halo 4, though.
Which is mad, because the story in Halo 4 is so good.
It's like fucking incredible. They tried to do something really cool with it, and everyone said, no, this is bad. And then they just shit the bed from then on.
Yeah, and now everybody's like, yeah, 4 had a sick story. That's sort of the common consensus, at least on the Reddit, but I guess that's a very biased section.
Yeah, I don't know.
And people hated the multiplayer in 4 as well, and I loved that. That fucking sticky grenade gun. I loved it. I had such a good time.
I feel like Halo 4 was the only one that I actually played the multiplayer of as well, because I never had an Xbox, but there was one in the house, and I ended up playing a bunch of it with Ollie. Like, I feel like that's the only one I've played the multiplayer online on properly. And I thought it was cool.
Because the other ones are sick.
Yeah.
Man, how has this become the Halo show?
Because they're
do
announcing
that.
Gears of War 5. It just doesn't make any sense.
Obviously. Yeah. I don't know. I wouldn't be super surprised if they announced it, like if they spoke about Halo 6. But
Yeah.
again, I wouldn't be super surprised if they didn't. At this point, either way, I know what they're going for, and they can just do it. If it comes out, that's cool. If it doesn't, whatever.
Yeah, like there is a narrative you could believe to either one of those games being announced.
But
But
also, if it's speculative, like you say, because if it's weird that they'd announce Gears of War 5 before if it's something that they know, if it's insider knowledge. But speculative is even weirder that they'd speculate Gears of War 5 before Halo 6.
yeah,
I don't know. We'll
just
see.
seems bizarre. It just seems strange.
We'll find out in a month, I guess.
Yeah, like shit. There was a lot of news this week.
And we didn't even cover it all. Fucking
No.
hell, we get an hour.
There is quite a lot of stuff actually that we haven't covered.
Fucking quick fire it. Go.
Okay, quick fire it. Right, BioWare's Anthem has a release date and it's less than a year away. which is cool. It's within this like financial year we entered into, and I'm certain that we will see that on Microsoft's stage, and we will finally understand what BioWare's Anthem is. And I'm really excited because, yeah, the first half hour of Mass Effect Andromeda feels like a Mass Effect game so far, and I like Mass Effect games, so who knows, man? Maybe, I don't know. I'm excited. Capcom said they're going to release 2 major games in the next 10 months, which is fucking madness, because Capcom just don't release games. It hasn't been long enough since Resident Evil 7 for them to do another Resident Evil, and Monhun just came out. So I don't know what they're talking about.
Are they going to do like another Marvel versus Capcom game?
I heard that they don't want to do that because apparently Disney is an absolute fucker to work with.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be very disappointed if they actually announced if that was one of their 2 big announcement games that they were teasing us with, because I feel like that's not enough of a game to be getting like hyped for or trying to hype people up for.
Do they have to work with Disney? Does Disney own the game rights, or does Disney own the film rights?
Yeah, I think Oh, because it's not. Because it's something weird, isn't it? Where I think it is in games. I think they have to work with Disney to get those characters. Because I remember when Marvel vs. Capcom came out, was it last year? And people were like, "This is a bit ropey." And then there were some interviews, some like scuttlebutt around the scene from Capcom that maybe working with those, because it was shit like you couldn't have. Like fucking, I don't know, I literally couldn't even name you a Marvel character in that game, but you couldn't have fucking Magneto getting hit too hard in your trailers and weird shit like that.
Oh, what?
Yeah, like they were apparently super controlling to work with, which kind of makes sense considering where they're at with Marvel at the moment and how it's at the. If they keep looking after it, it will print them money till the end of time. But yeah, so they're doing that. I don't know what that's going to be. The CEO of EA has said some things that seem to imply that there are twice as many PlayStation 4s than Xbox Ones.
Yeah. Mad.
Which is cool. Good for them, I guess. That's pretty crazy. Burnout Revenge now runs on backwards compatibility, and that's great because Burnout Revenge is a sick fucking video game.
Oh, what? That's possibly the best bit of news I've heard today.
Yeah,
Jack
dude.
Definitely did his background reading.
Burnout motherfucking Revenge is a great game. And do you know what this means? If they had a Need for Speed game that went really badly, they had Burnout Paradise Remastered that was beloved and everyone thought it was wicked, and now Burnout Revenge is on backwards compatibility. Well, what if they're going to make another Burnout game?
Nice.
That would be awesome.
What if that's what all this means? That would be great. I'm fucking hyped for that, because Burnout is sick. Sick. Hey, you know that Neo Geo mini thing?
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah, that's a thing.
Is it out?
It's beautiful.
Nah, it's not out, but it is. They've demonstrated that it is a tiny arcade cabinet.
Oh,
So
man.
good.
What?
I want one
Fucking
so badly.
adorable. It is 135 millimeters wide, 108 millimeters deep, and 162 millimeters tall, and weighs 600 grams with a 3.5-inch display. It's got 40 Neo Geo Classic games on it, and they say that it fits perfectly in the palm of your hand.
It's a fucking pop
No way is it that tiny.
Yeah, dude.
is.
Jack, I literally posted all these news stories to the chat. Like, you should have just fucking done your research, bro. There's a picture of it. Like,
I saw the article that you're talking about, but just when you think about it and you look at it, it's just it's so small.
I think actually the coolest part about this is that it's got HDMI out and the ability to plug 2 controllers into it.
Oh,
Yeah, because that's what I was thinking, is that it's one controller, right? 'Cause it's a tiny little thing, but you want to be playing those fighting games with two people. So
Yeah.
it's good that it's got the port.
So it looks like it will also actually, you can have it as this really cool little like tiny Neo Geo, which is sweet. But then yeah, you can actually just plug it into a TV and plug some fight sticks into it and play.
Will it work with your fight stick?
Probably not, because mine's USB, and I don't know. My guess is that it's going to have some sort of proprietary port on it.
Yeah, it looks
A
like
bit like
report.
a bit like the NES Mini
Yeah.
had a proprietary port. I say proprietary port on it. It was the NES port, but that is proprietary. So yeah. My guess is that it won't. My fight stick won't work on it, but that's fine because this is fucking cool.
Yeah.
And I suspect also won't be as impossibly hard to get as the NES Mini.
Yeah, because like me, who fucking knows what a Neo Geo is?
Yeah, that's the thing.
I think it's like us, right? This is it.
We're literally their marketing base. They listen to our podcast and be like, let's make a mini for those guys.
Those guys love Neo Geo games. There has been an announcement. I say an announcement. There has been an ARG vis-a-vis Battlefield.
Oh god, this is so cool. This thing is so cool.
All right, I don't know anywhere near enough about it to be as enthused as you are. So Dylan, fucking hit me with that shit.
I've only read like a little bit around it, but the fact that they did it, so it was a DLC called, what was the name? They Shall Not Pass, came out for Battlefield 1 last March, and there was this door in the bottom of one of the maps, the Fort Vaux map, and it was blocked and locked, and people assumed you could get in, because fucking Easter egg hunters love doors.
I like doors as well, to be fair.
Doors are good. I'm a fan. They figured out recently how to unlock this door and how to get into this room by... This is the bit that I think is fucking insane. They listened to the water dripping from a pipe and realised that it was Morse code. And then
What?
this Morse code...
What?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't read that. That's fucking crazy.
So then they got into this door by flipping a bunch of switches and like in a certain order, that kind of Easter egg nonsense. Got into this door, and which way around was it? I think in the room there wasn't much, but there was this water pipe dripping water, and it was Morse code for a website that has information. It's just saying May 23rd, I think. Let's get the website up so I can tell you exactly what it is. I think it just says May 23rd. Yeah, May 23rd, 2018. So there's some big announcement in 2 weeks,
Oof.
Battlefield-wise. But just the fact that they solved it by a fucking pipe dripping water
Yeah, that's really
is
cool.
madness.
That's really fucking cool. I didn't know that. That's rad.
Yeah. But I read that and was just like, hot damn. This is cool shit. People who solve this stuff are mad. But yeah. That's it. That's all we know. It's
Sweet.
a weird room as well, though. It's like a zombie room or something creepy.
Ooh, I love a good zombie room. Yeah, because there's some key art leaked a while back, didn't it, of like Battlefield V, right? And they said that it was going to be like Battlefield V for Victory, and it was going to be going back to World War II.
Maybe.
I feel like that leaked unofficially.
Another absurd name.
Well,
Apparently, there's a horse art, an art of a horse.
Yeah, there's a picture of a horse in the room with like its fucking neck slashed. It doesn't. The paint's just crossed.
But yeah. So the Battlefield subreddit is going nuts over that.
About the horse.
Yeah. They're memes.
Why?
They're lots of memes.
I get like, it's
Yeah,
strange.
why?
It's just a prison room. It's just like a prison cell kind of thing, and in it there's a picture of a horse. But I mean, what can you figure out from a picture of a horse?
Don't know. There's gonna be a horse in the next game.
There's horses in this game.
Shit.
What the fuck? But yeah, it's cool. I enjoyed that. I thought, damn, people are interesting.
People are interesting. Speaking
They
of
just
people
hit
doing
shit
interesting
until something
things, there is
opens.
one final news story that is actually like quite big, considering we literally haven't spoken about it until 110 minutes in. But Nintendo Switch announced all that shit about their online service.
Yes. Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, September 2018, it's going to launch. And it is going to be... Is it like fucking £3 a month or something? Like, it's really cheap,
Yeah,
isn't it?
it's like
Yeah.
I think it's like £3.99, £4 maybe. I imagine.
Yeah, so it's going to be $20 a year.
Okay.
It's $3.99 for a month, $7.99 for 3 months, or $19.99 for 12 months. So
Not bad.
it's not an expensive service.
No.
No.
Not at all.
Half the price. What? Oh, actually, I don't know how much it is in dollars. But like Xbox Live's 40 quid. I don't know how much PlayStation Plus is.
That sounds
think the
about
same,
right. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I
So-
renewed recently, and it was like £39 or something. I
Yeah.
think I might be completely making that up. Yeah. So September 2018, it's going to be their online paywall, a bit like PlayStation Plus or Xbox Live. It's going to work with their bullshit mobile app, because that's how you do voice chat on the Nintendo Switch, and that's stupid.
Might as well just use TeamSpeak.
Yeah, I mean, I would, if I was ever going to play a Nintendo Switch game online with someone else, I would just talk to them in Discord.
Yeah.
But yeah, but the thing about it, there's two things about it that's cool. There's two services that it comes with that I think are good. Well, are interesting at least. Cloud saves.
Yeah.
It's total crap that the Nintendo Switch has no way to back up saves whatsoever at the moment.
Oh.
But at least they are going to do a cloud saves thing.
Mm.
You have to pay for it, but cloud saves.
It's
Do you have to pay for it beyond the subscription, or is it just part of the subscription?
I believe so, yes.
Okay.
And that sucks, but also, at least they're putting backup in it.
Yeah.
But also, why does Nintendo Switch have a complete inability to build any sort of online ecosystem? Like, oh my god, Nintendo are just... They're so bad at this.
It's mad as well because they had it. What, the DS had some sort of online capability. It was just trash, and they've still not managed to do it. They've been doing handheld online for so long now, and it still doesn't work.
I mean, whatever, man. Like, the GameCube could get online with an online adapter, and that came out in 2001. Like, they've been doing this for basically as long as anybody.
Well, I guess Dreamcast was the first console to do it, other than like PCs, I guess. But fuck those. Fuck PCs.
These are consoles. They're for work.
What?
PCs are a laughing stock. Nothing good ever happened on the PC.
Half-Life.
What's Half-Life?
Fuck you. Get off my podcast. The other thing about this fucking bullshit service is, what's the official name for it? It's really bad, so I want to find it. It is the Nintendo Entertainment System Nintendo Switch Online,
Yeah.
which
What?
is you get yeah, so it's 20 NES games that will be available when Nintendo Switch Online, which is the name of their online service, by the way. So already they're limiting it to this console. They're not being smart and going, why don't we call it Xbox Live or PlayStation Plus? They go, it's the Nintendo Switch Online. Don't
Maybe
worry.
their plan for the Switch is to do what they did with the DS and just slowly release the new Switch,
Yeah.
the Switch XL.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think a Switch XL would be any good. My hands already cramp up a bit if I play it in handheld mode for too long.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's 20 NES games in a sort of Netflixy kind of. You can download them and play them, and I think they've said they're even going to be like rotating out what's on there, and they're going to be adding ones and removing ones. And the 10 that they have announced are soccer, tennis, Donkey Kong, Mario Bros, Super Mario Bros, Balloon Fight, Ice Climber, Dr. Mario, The Legend of Zelda, and Super Mario Bros 3.
Fuck Super Mario Bros. 2.
Yeah, what's
Shit.
that about? Super Mario Bros 2 is fucking great.
Maybe they're saving that for E3. That's part of the other 10.
Yeah, like if this just because they've also simultaneously done this and said that they're not reviving that shambolic corpse of a service, the Virtual Console for the Switch either.
Yeah. Which is straight, because isn't this basically the Virtual Console? Just with less games?
Yeah, it seems like the Virtual Console, but only for Nintendo Entertainment System games, and also you pay a monthly fee and you get access to all of them as opposed to buying them individually.
Yeah, which is alright. I love the fact that they were able to call a game soccer and tennis.
Yeah, man, it's Nintendo Tennis.
Here you go. Here's tennis. This isn't tennis, this is a games console. Yes, the tennis is on the games console.
They also have golf.
Man, the past is a crazy place.
Yeah, imagine being like, what's this game? Well, it's a game where you float from balloons and you fight. I was thinking of calling it Balloon Fight. You go, perfect. No one else has done it.
Let's just check if anybody else has used this name before. No, nobody's made anything before. We can do whatever we want.
Imagine being in the office and like Miyamoto comes in and goes, look, I've made this. It's this incredible new game. Like I'm basically like no one's ever done this before. And you're going to explore this huge world, and there's going to be secrets and dungeons, and you're going to get items. And I want to give it this really epic title, like The Legend of Zelda. And they go, no, we're thinking Sword would be better.
It's like, could you include any dragons in it? Then maybe we could call it something like, well, it's got dungeons and it's got dragons. How about Dungeons and Dragons?
Wait, no. What about Dragons and Dungeons?
You're a genius.
Yeah.
Man, games.
I don't know. I assume that the next 10 games they announce will include such. I mean, hang on. What were the 30 games that were on the NES Mini, and then take away the 10 most popular ones? No, what were the 30 games that on the NES Mini, and then take away the 10 that Nintendo didn't publish? Because none of these games are third-party games, and Nintendo probably doesn't want to pay weird licensee fees for extended Netflix-style renewals of this shit.
So it had Super Mario Bros, Mario Bros 3, Zelda, Donkey Kong, Metroid. Is that that's Nintendo,
Yeah.
right?
So I've got this list sorted by Nintendo as a publisher, if you'd like.
Ah, okay. Genius.
So I'm going to say it's probably going to have Excitebike on it, and Kirby, and Metroid, and Super Mario Bros 2, and Zelda 2, and the first Final Fantasy, which I didn't realise that, I guess that was before Square Enix was a publisher, so I don't quite know what the things are, but Kid Icarus and Punch-Out. Like, I think they're all... I would probably say Mario 2, Zelda 2, Metroid, and Kirby are probably all dead fucking certs for this thing, right?
Yeah. What are the games that aren't Nintendo? So I guess Pac-Man isn't Nintendo, right?
Yeah, and also that is a bad version of Pac-Man. But yeah.
Fuck that shit.
But yeah, no, like Castlevania is obviously Konami, and there's a couple of those.
There's one called Ghosts and Goblins. That's basically just the Dungeons and Dragons joke.
Have you never heard of Ghosts and Goblins before?
No, I have, but I just hadn't really thought of it.
Okay. Yeah, I swear, in fact, I've played Ghosts and Goblins in front of you.
Yeah.
No, I've played Ghouls ghouls and ghosts in front of you, I think, wasn't it?
Man, games are so easy to name.
Yeah, they were. You just said what was in it. Yeah, so like fucking Castlevania. Was the NES version of Metal Gear on one of these, or am I totally fucking imagining that? No, it wasn't. I just felt like it was. I wanted it to be. Yeah, no. I feel like it's just a dead fucking cert that like Mario 2 and Zelda 2 and probably Metroid will end up on this thing.
It's just kind of crazy that they named Mario 1 and Mario 3, but not Mario 2. Is Mario Bros 2 even on it? The list I've got doesn't have it on.
What, on the NES Mini?
Yeah, but I don't think this list is actually 30 long, so...
Yeah, if
Can't trust me!
it's on the list of games on the Wikipedia for the NES Mini.
Mate, when has Wikipedia ever been right?
Every
You make a
time.
fair point. Well, that you two deal with your differing opinions on Wikipedia, and I think this show has gone on long enough. I might even actually split it into two.
We could. This is... What, an hour and... This is
Yeah.
almost 3 shows length now.
Oh man.
We don't have to
Yeah.
record until the next Chatting Over Static. Wonderful. We're going to be incredibly irrelevant.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do with this, but it's fucking. I might cut it down. I don't know. We'll see. This thing is
No, this
fucking
is-
beastly. I might do like a Tuesday and a Thursday release of 40 minutes.
Ooh. Crazy.
Well,
Just God fucking
we've
damn
got to
it, this is
record the
too
next
much.
episode because there's going to be big things next week.
They'll
man.
ostensibly be what, Rage 2?
Yeah.
There's the
Okay.
Call of Duty official community event reveal thing for Black Ops on Thursday next week.
Oh, wow, really?
Fuck man.
Yeah.
Deadpool. It's not a game, but, you know. Comes out next week.
Yeah.
I'm probably not gonna see it.
No, me neither.
At some point, I imagine I will, but I probably won't go and see it when it comes out in the cinema. I'll probably wait a little bit and then go and see it.
It's just so much effort.
Mad man.
Fuck movies. Games are where it's at. I can't believe I said that. I love movies. I'm sorry, movies.
Do we want to close out by doing a quick progress report of how we're all doing in Splinter Cell?
I've not played it yet, so there's my progress.
Well, you're 12 days into the month, so you maybe want to pull your finger out.
Yeah, I need to, but I'm writing a first year review at the moment. It's a very busy time for me.
This is true. Well, it's not a very long game if it means anything. I'm halfway through it and I've played 4 hours of it, so
Nice.
Yeah,
I'll
I'm,
smash it out in like a day.
I'm not too sure like how far through it I am. I'm enjoying some bits of it. But yeah.
how many times have you tortured somebody?
I think
I'm excited now.
twice, two, three.
Yeah, alright, yeah, you're getting there.
I don't know. Yeah, I can't remember. I mean, it's been a while since I last touched it, but yeah, it's certainly something I'm going to need to get back on in the next coming days.
Alright.
I'm sad that we're asking Jack about his torture and not our torture expert.
Wait, am I missing
Hey.
out on the torture? Or have I just not got to the next bit?
There's at least one bit they make you do where you put
Yeah.
that dude's head through a fucking urinal.
Oh yeah, that's at the
Whoa.
beginning of the game though. That doesn't count. That's like your.
So it's not
tutorial
torture because it's at the beginning of the game.
It's a torture tutorial. It doesn't count.
You do that you do that a bunch of other times.
Okay. Well,
Shaw doesn't want to be taught how to torture again. He's been through this already.
I'm at the same
He
point
feels
as.
patronised by Splinter Cell.
But there aren't very many ropes in
No,
Splinter
no
Cell
ropes.
torture either, so I guess it's not really up to your standard of abusing other human beings in horrible
It's hardly
violations.
even torture. It's just abuse.
I do think the game tries to sidestep it by calling it interrogations, to be fair. Well,
Yeah.
okay. How far are you through it, Shaw? Because I know you're struggling with it.
I haven't gone further since the last time we spoke.
Oh, right, yes, okay. So you're about as far as me.
Okay, so halfway.
Yeah, you're about halfway.
Oh,
yeah.
great. Okay.
Alright, cool. So we're about halfway through the month. We're all about halfway through-ish, sort of, apart from Dylan, but Whatever, Dylan didn't finish Doom either, so maybe it's just going to be his thing. He just won't finish the games he plays.
That's me.
Terrible.
Don't finish Dylan.
Oh. Oh, your poor girlfriend. And with that, we'll call it this bumper episode. Dear guys, this was our half hour at 9:30.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good job, us. We just love games.
There was a lot on this week. I don't know.
Especially like how we got to half an hour. When, should we finish? Nah, let's do another hour.
Yeah, literally an hour ago. It was 26 minutes in. And in an hour and 26 minutes in, when I asked, should we keep going?
Like how we didn't check again at an hour. We just rolled on.
Like, well,
Fuck it.
we've gone past half hour, so let's just finish talking about all the news. Gentlemen, it's been a pleasure this week on Shouting Over the News, a video game show and news project. No, that doesn't work. I've been your host of the week, Mark. I've not done a great job hosting because we've just gone on and on and on and on.
You've done a brilliant job hosting. You've been hosting for an hour and a half. If we'd only done half an hour, that's only half an hour of hosting.
This is
Worse.
true.
Not as good. Quantity over quality.
That's why you don't finish?
Exactly. Just keep on going. Never stop.
Oh no! Right, we've definitely reached the end of our tether. I don't think I can speak to you guys for another couple of days. Well, that was Don't Finish Dylan. So bye, Dylan.
I refuse. I will keep talking.
I've also been here with Jack. Thanks for coming on, Jack.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure.
Oh, and I've been here with Shaw. Thanks for coming on, Shaw.
That's alright. Thanks for having me.
Oh, anytime, buddy. And this has been Shouting Over the News. You can find us on iTunes and soundcloud.com/shoutingoverstatic, where we update the audio on a weekly basis, and it's up to date, and it's good shit. You can also find us on Low Expectations Media, where we update the videos on a weekly basis, and you can watch us there if you're more of a YouTube than a SoundCloud kind of guy, if you're one of those people. Maybe you've got a firewall at work that lets you go on SoundCloud. That happens sometimes. They're the places you can find us. Head on over there, drop us a cheeky like, a comment. Don't subscribe though, we don't deserve it. This is bullshit. This is an hour and a half of bullshit, and we don't deserve to subscribe for this.
You're really great at publishing us. Publicising.
Whatever, man. We literally don't advertise this in any way.
If they got to this hour and a half, then you should definitely subscribe because you deserve that kind of torture.
Yeah, no, yeah. If you've made it to this point, sub, because you can continue not finishing with Dylan if you just consume all our content forever.
It'll last you a good while. There's a fair amount now.
Yeah, dude. Well, that was the episode. Thanks, guys. See you next week.
Bye-bye.
Oh.
Bye.